What's happening, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Eyes, and today we have a full review of the Warrior Evo4 X6. So the Evo4 is a head that came out a little while ago, and it came out in the high school spec and the X spec, so one legal for NFHS and one legal for all levels of play. And in the past, Warrior had done an Evo Pro X6, which X6, if you don't know, is a spec of head that is legal for NCAA play only. So that means it's 6 inches across the scoop and 3 inches through the throat, as opposed to an X spec head, which is 3 inches through the throat and 6.5 inches up at the scoop. So it's a little bit... Phone going off from all of us. With your name, number, and so the Evo Pro X6, the previous generation, was definitely the most pinched NCAA legal head that you could buy, and it was definitely made for the elite offensive player. And they've kind of taken that idea and brought it into the Evo 4 and combined it with the features of the Evo 4 and the pinched face shape of the X6. So as far as aesthetics go, it looks just like an Evo 4 with the SYM rail technology, the cutouts in here, all the string holes. So it looks exactly like an Evo 4, but it is just the X6 spec. So for the face shape, you can see it goes very straight up. There's almost no flare, because being only 6 inches here and only 3 inches here, you're only covering an additional 3 inches of width on both sides across the head. So it really has a very straight up, almost box looking like face shape, and it probably is the most pinched X6 head in the game, or at least it has come out recently. So as far as I can tell, it's a little bit wider than the Evo Pro X6. If you had an Evo Pro X6, you could see that it was much tighter into the throat, and the flare point was much higher, so you had a much tighter area all the way up through here. It seems like they lowered the flare point a little bit and made it just a little bit wider at the bottom to make sure it is legal and stays legal and won't flare or pinch over time. It has all the great stiffness of the Evo 4, which is pretty much the perfect stiffness for an offensive head. You want to flex a little bit when you're shooting, so it'll come in a little bit, but still be stiff enough that it'll be durable and won't warp, stand up to checks and ground balls. The stringing was very easy for me. Strung up really well with our 15mm East Coast mesh. You might run into some issues if you want to make a super tight channel because of how straight up and down the sidewalls are. If you go super tight on the channel, you might not be able to get the ball out. But for this, I went with a college legal setup, a nice defined mid pocket, 3 straight shooting strings, pretty good looking channel for the width of the head and the way that it's shaped, and it should perform really well. So the string was very easy. Obviously it has multiple string holes down the side, the same 6 nicely sized top string holes that the Warrior Evo 4 has, and really well spaced bottom string holes as well. So overall, if you're an elite offensive player that plays by NCAA rules, I would highly recommend the Warrior Evo 4 X6. It's probably the most aggressive offensive head available for NCAA. Be great for attackmen, good for some middies. If you found, you know, like your Clutch X or your Stallion U or your Evo 4X just a little wide, you can scale it down to the X6 and get the most pinched head possible. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.